It's hilarious for people to think with all these years of abuse that I'm supposed to entertain by what they do. I'm supposed to be broken by their disapproval or rejection, and that you're not even gonna get to a point or stage in life that you're not gonna care about anything or no one. If I wanted to fit in with the narcissistic group, then rejection and not being approved by people will break me. If they were my focus, if people's opinion were my focus everywhere I go, wanting to seek validation and approval, that's sick in itself. That's having low self-esteem in itself. But if my focus is not on man and my conditions and those who project negativity, even those who operate out of positivity, if nobody's my focus but God is my focus, it changes every mood that one operate out of. It changes the atmosphere. It changes your view on what you look at as approval and validation when God is your focus. When the Spirit of God is your focus. So I don't look at it, I don't look at being alone as a curse. I look at it as a gift. Because I can declutter everything that's negative in my life and find freedom and let God be my focus. Let God heal me. Let God renew me. Let God restore me. I don't look at it as a stumbling block. I look at it as a major breakthrough. Now, who I can thank? The same people who rejected me. Thank you for rejecting me. You got me to the one who will accept me, approve me, anoint me, bless me, restore me, and I don't need nobody's validation. So kudos to you. I hope you live a happy life. But trying to this is so funny, God forgive me. It's oh God. It's like the more you entertain it, the more it keep you in it. But unless you entertain it, your mind can think on a higher view, on a higher plane, you know. And that's a blessing in itself. I know men and narcissistic individuals are raging around this time. They bitter, they're hateful, they're mean, they're looking for someone to abuse, manipulate. I'm not talking about people in particular areas. I'm just saying the spirit of narcissistic individuals. They need a feed, they need a boost because they're empty. You know, holidays time is supposed to be about celebration, but for them, it's celebrating is creating destruction. And when they don't have nobody to break and manipulate and belittle, and you can see through that manipulation, you can see through that, oh, it breaks them down. Oh, it breaks them down. People don't realize what the number one thing that really can grind the gears off a narcissistic individual, the spirit, is healing. When you heal so much from so many things, you can't help but find freedom and happiness, and you get completeness. Who are you trying to compare or compete when the great need of healing needs to be attended to. So the less you heal, the more you focus on people. But the more you focus on healing, the less you get out of the toxic environment. You're not worrying about who's toxic. You're not worrying about the gossip. You're not worrying about ones who trying to manipulate, be in control. Because if God be with you with healing, He's gonna be with them with correction. What would piss off not the spirit of a narcissistic, but a narcissistic individual when they bring up one's flaws and past? Talk about shadow work. Talk about how many purges you went through to get to it. Oh, you talk about somebody want to run. They want to run for the hills. You're like, wait a minute. I'm talking about me. You brought me up. Well, let me introduce you. What got me over that bridge? Let me introduce you to what helped me to heal. Let me introduce you to what helped me get delivered. Let me introduce you to what set me free. So even you can't bother me. What you say. Let me show you what can help you too. Let me show you. Not just shadow work, but accepting the Holy Spirit and releasing control. Oh man. You know, the enemy sends in chaos for his end goal, but you know, you don't know how many are fighting on their behalf that's in the hidden, excuse me, not in the unseen, but it's in the hidden. Enemies don't know how much grace and mercy is over one's soul that they have to walk upright and heal. They got to see what's on the other side. I say get your confidence back. I say get your joy back. Snatch it out of the enemy's hand. Walk in it boldly. Walk in confidence. Walk in good health. Walk in peace of mind. Walk in joy. Walk in it boldly. Not be intimidated by what people say or do. It's cool when they do it, but they don't like it done back on them. I'm not saying to do it to them, but heal and focus on your own life and your own spirit and your own work so much that everything that they do and operate from and want to manipulate and want control, that God gives them back what they put out. Your healing has attachments to success that you don't know of. If you don't heal, you will never know how successful, how blessed you can become. But if you are comfortable in spaces and places where people approve you, but you're not growing closer to God. You need to ask yourself, where are all these people going? Where all of these popular, controlling, egotistic, hateful, mean spirit people are going? Where are they going? Are they prepared for the long haul? The long haul. Are they prepared for old age? Are they prepared for bad health? Are they prepared for having stability, peace of mind? Are they prepared for planting healthy seeds on good ground? Are they even prepared for the next generation coming up behind them? And the answer is no. They're feeding their flesh. They're feeding foul spirits. They're feeding ego. They're feeding pride. They're feeding their elevated esteem that's not even real. Where are these souls going? But when their same works come back up on them, then all of a sudden they want to talk in a different tone. The aura changes. Well, why won't you change before more destruction comes? Why won't you change for your own bloodline? Why won't you heal so you have your own success? Your healing is tied to success. It's tied to joy. It's tied to higher fulfillment. If you don't heal, you don't recognize that. Who is your focus? If people is your focus, I don't care who it is, they ain't worth to be your focus. I don't care how bad they hurt you. God needs to be one's focus. When God is your focus, everywhere you go, God, regulate my mind. God, keep me balanced. God, renew my mind. God, give me strength to be active for you. Give me encouragement to break off this old self and walk into the renewness of who you say I am. How you see me. How much you love me. Your grace was over me, my weakness, but let your favor reign as I get up. Let your favor reign as I get up and try. Every time you try, there's a more grace that's being exposed. There's more favor being exposed because God sees the motives of your heart. And He says, I love that. I want more of that. Do it again. Do it again. I'm gonna give you favor. I'm gonna give you healing. I'm gonna give you deliverance. I'm gonna get your freedom away from this, but you gotta be right by the heart. You gotta move right by your heart, your mind. You gotta move with that. There's those good intentions. I'm gonna bless you. I'm gonna renew you. I'm gonna restore you. But if you're not healing, you're not making peace with Most High, how can you achieve the highest height and constantly grow right there? You don't have no seeds for generations behind you. You don't have a healthy life. You feeding things, you putting things in your body that's bringing decay. You operate out of your flesh that's making you short-tempered. You active for wickedness, but when righteousness comes, you lost. But we know better as people. Nothing like when you get fed up. Nothing like when you get fed up. Oh, whoo. I remember when I was giving birth to my daughter. And that was one of the first things I went through, and that was severely hard. And I had to face it. I couldn't run. I couldn't hide. I had to face it and ride that thing through with pain in my bloodstream and in my eyes, just in my body. I kept feeling the contractions. It was getting stronger and stronger. They gave me the epidural. And when it was getting close to time to push, I told him, look, I need to go use the restroom. I'm being raw real here. If don't like me, cool. God bless you. What I found out was, it used to be a stage in my life I used to cry over people who don't like me, but find out they don't like themselves. And then I find out God woke me up the next morning. So I stopped all that crying. And I stopped all that caring about what people think. Now back to what I was saying. The contractions were so bad and intense. I remember grabbing my sister's hand. And it's like, whoo. I didn't know I had that much strength in me. Whoo. I didn't know how much pain can come from giving birth. And I held onto her hand, and I didn't realize how intense I was holding onto her hand, her arm. But before I knew it, I was just squeezing, and the pain was that bad I couldn't cry. Have you ever experienced pain where you can't cry no more? There's no point of crying. You you just numb. You just numb. They gave me the epidural, and then when it was time to start pushing, I'm like, I'm feeling pain. I gotta go. They're like, no, that's the weight of the baby. I'm like, no, you're lying. You're lying. I need to go use the restroom. Same thing is happening when you birth and walk with your higher self. You have to let go of all those old ways and awaken to new ways that God has placed in front of you. First of all, if you trust Him like you say you do, you're not going to have no idols in your way. And it has many benefits to not having idols in your life, in your mind, in your heart. Even the number one thing, ego and pride. You heal, Most High is going to reveal what you need to grow in. Nobody is controlling the agenda and the narrative and the path of your healing. God is in control of that. So every time you walk in your renewness, there's going to be devils that don't want you to birth. They don't want you to go through the birthing process. They don't want you to deliver it and to be successful and it to be a blessing. And also for you to walk deeper in your strength. So it's two major breakthroughs happening when you walk, when you heal. You operate out your higher self, and your gifts from operating out your higher self. And really want to say 3, your close connection to Most High, who made all those things possible. So when you heal, you find freedom. And you become a magnet for blessings and overflow and favor from God because you keep Him first. You can have joy throughout the year, every day of the year. Every day of the year. It doesn't have to be a special occasion. It could be every day of the year. No excuses. No limitations. Why tie your joy and happiness to material things that's gonna have an expiration date on it anyway? That needs your strength and your creativity. It needs water and it needs to be refreshed. Who's gonna bring that refreshment? But yet you tie your joy to those material things that gonna decay after a while. If you never went through anything the number one thing you can heal from is narcissism, from a system that's toxic, that wants to say how you should date, how you should treat the opposite sex, the same sex, ones of authority, ones in power, how you treat money. Heal from those things. How you treat your temple. A lot of us in the community, we don't respect our temple. We don't exercise. We don't eat healthy. Why put those burdens on your body and then not even thinking clearly to detox from the toxic habits that bring on the domino effect of being depressed? Respect your temple. Make peace with any scars, any baggage that you have. But if you never went through nothing, heal from the system view that they want you to live by, because it's not freedom in that. It's depressing. It's full of self-afflictions. They want a lot of us burdened, stuck, mentally ill, and not free. You want stability? You need to operate your higher self. It's a magnet to your breakthroughs, to your success, to your confidence, to everything that you need. Is a magnet to it. God puts it in your path when you're on the right path, when you connect to Him. It's a ram in the bush when you stay on the path that He pulls you to. But if you constantly entertaining what you see and who hurts you, it's meant to keep you stuck. And the more individuals who participate in it, the more toxic the environment is, the more corruptive the communications with others is. It's not even work to entertain. One, it's like you have to heal and then have standards and boundaries for yourself and standards and boundaries for other people. If you're serious about healing, if you're serious about operating out of your purpose, if you're serious about letting go of your old life, No matter how many people was attached to it. No matter how much dirt people want to put on you, but they want to hide the dirt they operate from. It don't matter. You got to let it all go because it's all trash. It's all toxic. If you respect your temple, you got to be around those who respect their temple as well. And if they not, ignore the hell out of them. I'm not saying be disrespectful to people. I'm not saying be corrupted to people, but you have to ignore folk who are full of their flesh. They're full of their ego. They're full of their pride. They're full of greed. They're full of control. They gossip. You got to let them be in their own lane. It's no point of trying to tell them what they need to be doing, even if they come for folk. It's a waste of time. I don't waste time on souls who made up in their mind who they gonna entertain, who they gonna keep first. Boom. I wash my hands and I keep it moving, but there's no going back. There's no going back and forth. There's no, come back and around and I got gifts, and I'm not impressed with gifts. I'm not impressed with the shiny things. No. Those things don't move me. What moves me is folk who operate off of standards, boundaries, and they respect their temple. Even that doesn't necessarily move me, but there's a great respect for them. A greater respect for them. Healing is not easy work. It's not. But you gotta make up in your mind, I choose to do better. I choose to detox. I choose to let go of my old ways. I choose to heal. I choose to ignore the people who throwing projections at me. That stuff don't work. Why give the enemy power? Why give the enemy power? They want a reaction. They want a response. Why give them a reaction at all? Why give them anything? In fact, give them give them the unexpected. And the unexpected is, you're not my focus. My focus is on healing and Most High. Your focus is this 3D world and money in your pocket and being greedy, being hateful. You can entertain that foul spirit all you like. You're going to do it by yourself, and that's your choice. But you can't force that choice upon me. I already made up my mind. Every day when I wake up in the morning, I make it a choice and a demand that I'm going to go forward. I can't turn around. There's nowhere for me to turn around and go, it's going to be a comfortable spot. And, being wicked. It's a comfortable spot. There's a bench for you. It's a house laid up for you. There's, you can have all the fun you want and you don't have to pay for it. Yeah, lies. call one spirit going through spiritual psychosis. No, when there's so much narcissistic abuse and injustice going on in this world from folk who are powerful, they don't have room to talk about what one is operating from. No, 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 no. When you're using the mental ill to create destruction and you want me to respond and mirror that, no, darling, you need to be accountable for your own actions, sweetheart. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. People have forgotten about the fear of God, and they forgot about free will, and they forgot about human rights. They forgot about standards and boundaries, self-control, self-love, respecting their temple. They forgot about a lot of things that start off with self, but that's between the spirit of self and the spirit of God. They forgot about all those things, and it's so sad. It's sad. I'm not trying to act like I'm better than anyone else, but I'm a lot better than those projections where they throw out about me. I'm a lot better than the woman I used to be and the things I used to entertain. And I don't want no flowers from nobody because they don't got no healthy garden. I'm good. Who gives the best flowers is Most High. Because He's the one who shows you how to advance, elevate, yet still stay humble to receive the lessons. You got to have that balance to receive confidence in God and confidence in yourself, but also bold enough to fight the devil. You got to have balance. You got to fight the devil, but then respect the people he operates from. You know how much balance and self-control you have to have? I remember when I went to the range and got my level 3 when I was in the South. The number one thing they asked me was, do you have any mental illness? And I'm saying to myself, no, I just want to work. No, I don't have any mental illness. No, I don't hear voices. No. They asked me, do I have any drug issues, any habits, any alcoholic habits, any, habits that's not going to promote a healthy state of mind. Come on. When you go through warfare, you need a healthy state of mind. When you're in survival mode, you need a healthy state of mind to not only observe your enemy, but to read your enemy and how to defeat your enemy and to get your healthy life back, to get your joy back, get your confidence back, get your recovery back. I went to the range and I think I made like 235. And I always try to just not be so cocky, be so arrogant, you know. Because when you're starting off, you have no experience in anything, any gift, any talent, you're starting off low. You don't have nothing to really brag about. And usually if you're bragging about your character or your personality, it really is giving off an illusion that you're full, but you're really empty. So what I've learned was to learn as much as I can, and that will guide me to have a healthy confidence. Learning, but yet still stay teachable. But your confidence, those who tie their confidence to things, they don't have many, they're not really comfortable when renewals come in. They hold on, oh, I got a fancy car. Oh, no, let me rewind it. Like some of the interesting characters that was in my class at the range, they will brag about what kind of weapons they have. And I'm saying to myself, okay, you have weapons before you got here. Kudos to you. Kudos to you. But what is it getting you? You starting off from the same place that someone who doesn't have the equipment, doesn't have the skills. You starting off from the same place, so you might as well eat humble pie. But I didn't say that. I don't know why egotistic individuals always think I'm gonna like feed or put up with their ego or feed into it. I wasn't made to I wasn't made to feed into nobody's ego. I'm done with that. I'm beyond done with that. That was that broken woman putting up with that. I'm not about to keep on putting up with it from nobody. I don't care how they feel. No. So, the more you humble, you're able to use your ears and not your mouth. Those who are so egotistic or narcissistic, they have a mouth and they don't know how to use their ears. If they know how to use both, they can get much further. If you're full of yourself, you can get much further. But if you're full of the things you want to gain, how you want people to respond, how you want people to react, first of all, who made you that important? Who made the person that you're targeting that important? Or that you're harassing that important? None of us are that important. Because if we was that important, we would be healing. If we was that important, we'll be decluttering all things that's expired. Operating out of ego is like wearing an old suit and when you receive your largest amount of success and you held on to that suit because it gave you fulfillment, it gave you joy, it made you happy. Every time you seen it, it reminds you of how successful you became. But that was 10 years ago. That was 5 years ago. The more you tie your success to material things, the more you setting up yourself for failure. You are the blessing. You have a spirit. You have a soul. You have ability to connect to Most High. You You, not this stuff in front of you, around you. It don't matter who break you. This God got love for you. He got purpose for you. If you don't want to wake up and choose to walk in that, that's your choice. But you can't force others to do and participate in the path you want to walk in. You could be emotional, you could be disarranged, all those things. When the enemy doesn't get his way, that's when the narcissistic traits pop out like a balloon being popped. Woo, you gotta really love God to deal with that type of individual, boy. You gotta really love God. Woo, you gotta, hey. If I gotta be accountable for me, so do you. And I do not have a right to respond to your negative energy or to hold on to it. If we talk about a real accountability of character for oneself, and not to respond to your flesh, it works in multiple ways. It's not just a one-way street of respecting your temple and not responding to your emotions and your flesh and guarding your heart. It's multiple things that work out for you and protect you from the enemy, the spirit of the enemy. If you experience so much grace over your life, in your worstest hour, in your lowest hour, experience grace with folk who not living in your shoes would call it favor. What can you receive when you on the right path? What can you achieve when you're on the right path? Those people who would project and throw comments, meaning you're on the outer court, you got to get in the inner court. All those people throwing projections, meaning that you're about to start birthing. You're about to walk in your newness. You're about to walk in how God sees you. He's going to rain favor on you. Another level of favor. That's a magnet to righteousness. That's a magnet to walking in truth. That's a magnet to breakthroughs. That's a magnet for confidence. Healthy foundation of character and confidence. Can you imagine? But you settle for the grace. When you're going through, you settle for that and thinking that's going to protect you. It protected me last time. Oh, it covered me last time. And after a while, stop. If anyone experienced grace over their life, I don't care if they're narcissistic, I don't care if they're a narcissist, I don't care if they're a scapegoat, I don't care what position they are in the system or in the world, what labels that they entertain, what labels would put on them, it doesn't matter. If you experience the grace of God over your life at your worstest, at your lowest, at your worstest state of being, That's God pulling at you. I got Most High saying, I got more for you. I'm pulling at you. If you recognize the grace over your life, Most High is pulling at you. Come to me, all ye who are heavily burdened, for I will give you rest. I remember when I was on the street. I was on the street. And the Spirit of God reminded me, He's the truth in the way. But I remembering the Spirit of God reminding me, He's the truth in the only way. The only way. And I experienced grace over my life at some very harsh areas of time in my life. The grace is not for you to fit in and to please others in this system. The grace is for you to follow up with God so you can make peace with Him, so you can walk in being renewed and anointed. Because if you follow that grace that's over your life to what God wants you, you're going to find like He have a storehouse full of blessings for you, waiting on you. Waiting on you. You got to remember what God says in the Word. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning. In the end, He said you'll get victory. In the end, you recover. In the end, you're more stronger than ever. In the end, you're more purified. You're more on fire for God. You have more strength than even your enemies that attack you. They feed their flesh. They feed their flesh because they're entertaining foul spirits. Foul spirits loves when we feed our flesh and we degrade ourselves and one another. Heal for not just your own blessings and for your relationship with Most High, but heal also for your bloodline, so they know how serious it is to break free from any narcissistic abuse, any foul spirits, any manipulation and control that the enemy wants to invite in. Imagine someone walking with you through your roughest time, your hardest time, and that's with you at your bestest time, your success, but yet still saying, I have more for you to experience. I don't think our hard times are for us, not just for sharing experiences of learning lessons for others to hear, but for us to recognize what the foul spirits that Satan uses for manipulation, for control. You got to be really, really healthy and confident in your love for Most High and respecting what He says and how He moves. It's something about those who are humble, they're teachable, but the prideful, they overlook the lesson, they overlook the blessing. But when the blessing manifests, they want to quickly jump ahead and get the blessing. You can get the blessing, but that doesn't mean it's going to be attracted to you. That doesn't mean it's going to fulfill you. That doesn't mean it's going to be for you. You can steal it all you want. I kid you not. If you see someone getting their life together and getting closer to God, God is working on you if you're around that person. I seen it happen with my two eyes. I seen God manifest and bless those who wanted to live right in the environment He was speaking to, the environment He was working on their heart space or their mind. He was working on them. God doesn't go after one. He's speaking to many in different environments, different stages of life. This system wants to treat us as puppets, and as we don't deserve to be original and walk in our unique gifts and talents. But yes, we deserve that. That's our birthright. No man can block that. I don't care who it is. Well, they can throw all the labels that create all the destruction, but they don't want to deal with their own wickedness. Because after a certain period of time, you keep on throwing things at individuals. You keep on throwing labels at them. You keep on blocking them from growing and healing, being healthy, having a better life. That same wickedness that you operate from is going to come for you. You're going to be begging and pleading for God to give you relief from it. The very thing that you operate from. And the only way to get real relief is to really walk the path in the hill. There's no, oh, I'm going to bless them, or oh, I'm going to be nice to them. Nah, God looks at the motives of the heart. God looks at the motives of the heart of individuals. So many people try to tell me where I should be because it made them feel comfortable. But I'm not, again, I wasn't made I wasn't created to please people. So all that people pleasing and that scapegoating is gone. I didn't find no fulfillment in it anyway. Nowadays I take pleasure when folk reject me, because I totally agree with them. You're right, I don't belong in your group. You're right, I don't belong in your company. You're right. You're not wrong. You're right. I deserve to heal and evolve from it. And evolve from where I've been. You're right. I deserve to heal why I don't wear a mask. Why I could be myself and be the woman God created me to be. Forget how you feel. I can skip all that. Ignore all that. Because it's foolishness and it's trash. And it's full of agendas and motives from Satan completely. Not missing nothing. What did I do? I started focusing more on my health. I started working out more. I started finding more solutions to any problem that I have. I started thanking God for the life I have. He gave me life. Who is man? You know, after a while you go through so much abuse. After a while, the Spirit of God will challenge you and tell you, who is man that you think is so powerful to break you this much? Maybe you need to heal. Maybe you need to keep him first. Because if you keep God first, he reveals those who operate out of the flesh and operate out of those motives. He reveals the enemy. Spirit of God constantly will challenge one to heal and will remind you, who is man to be this important, that broken you, that brought you to this low place? Why did you get them that access to be that important in your life? And who are them to be that important? Why they not healing themselves? Why they not examples of healing if they want to bring you down and for you to be broken and stay there? Who is man to play God? You know how much wrath will come through if you get on the right path? Some people don't love Most High. They love the benefits He gives. But if you love Most High, His input on your choices and how you function is important to you. Extremely important to you. So instead of people being important and their opinions, God's opinion is important. Those in that narcissistic system, in those groups, they're not going to live long. They're not gonna live long if they don't shaping up and get on the right path. I'm not wishing this on nobody. I really wish they would get right with Most High and heal. Straight up. But if you keep on entertaining foul spirits that's feeding your flesh and that's feeding you a temporary high and a temporary sense of happiness or completeness, but it's bringing destruction that makes one irritable later on, that you can't deal with your moods, your character, your actions, your emotions. Also, you can't be healthy enough to think about your health. There's grace around you for you to heal, but it's not for you to live in it. If you don't recognize that, then that's on you. But you're not that important. You're not that powerful to project negativity on others and thinking you are God. You're not that important. You're not that great. You're not that solid. Even those who are solid, their focus is not to bring someone down. They will try to remind them of who they are. Reminding those of who they are, it helps them to awaken. But those who feed their flesh, who feed these urges that they have, don't have no self-control, don't have no self-respect, they participate wearing the mask. They participate in the crabs in the bucket. And that's what the system does. Everyone operates the same way. Everybody thinks the same way. Everyone's selfish. Everyone's heartless. Everyone's commercial. No genuine love for self and for another. And for Most High. So that means the entire group in the system is going straight to hell. Not even gonna live to the age of 80 years old. Why did our ancestors live so long? They didn't have all those they didn't have all those unhealthy toxics they was putting in their body. I can even remember my grandpa, he did drink beer. He did drink beer, but he didn't do it like one would drink water. But today we drinking like beer and liquor like it's water. We getting high like there's no consequences for it. And then we narcissistic individuals. We hateful, mean spirit, egotistic individuals. But we will want someone to love us genuinely. What are we doing? Where are we going? What are we planning? Excuse me, I'm eating a parfait. It's showing up good. When I found out I had a parasite, I've been trying to make sure I eat enough fiber. Woo-wee. Make sure you take care of your health, man. Because when you see a parasite, that will bring an alarm to you to wake up, take care of your health. And then for the parasite, has an ability to go to your brain. Yes, darling, you will wake up and take care of your health. The system wants control over a lot of people, not just me, but even those he uses, he wants control over them too. He's helping them. He's giving off an illusion. He's helping them, giving them freedom to do whatever they want, but there's a consequence for those things. It's a consequence for everything we do. We're not getting away with nothing. That's an illusion that Satan promotes and sells. But the moment you want to do better, the moment you choose to do better, all those wicked ways will come back at you. And you have to make a choice, a solid choice. You're going to find out, man, I wasn't getting away with nothing. Oh my gosh. God wants us to heal, not run away from problems and create more. The more you heal, the more you give room to God to be first in your life. And all kinds of devils come out. Devils is tied to destiny. It's tied to your purpose. It doesn't matter what they do. It's not even worth entertaining it, but remembering that in the end you're going to get victory. In the end you will be successful. In the end you will have more wisdom. You'll be more equipped for your purpose. You'll be more qualified. Even if you start off not being qualified. Even if you started off in your sin and in your brokenness and being lost. There was purpose for you and a promise from God that He'll be with you before you came to earth. Even when you was a baby, you already comprehended. You already knew. It's something how when a baby is born, it knows its mother. It knows the smell of mom. It knows the smell of dad. It knows the smell of grandparents. I said this before and I say it again. Satan attack us in our childhood because that's when God reveals our talent, our gifts, but He also reminds us of who we are. And we get more stronger reminders about how yourself as children before we become adults as an adults. But whatever experiences we go through our childhood, that's what Satan uses to cripple us from growing and experiencing our higher self when we older, more experienced, more knowledgeable, have more self-control, have more discipline. But narcissistic individuals will be the same ones that wants to wear a fake mask of being happy around the holidays. But they are mainly the most miserable, depressed, lonely, and bitter individuals. What they feeding is bringing them loneliness and bitterness. So they have to get quick validation because it can support them wearing the mask. Narcissistic individuals want to tear down at your confidence because they don't have confidence. But I dare you to walk in confidence and heal regardless if it's a narcissistic individual near you or not. If you've been through brokenness or not. If you've been labeled wrong from a toxic system or not, I dare you to heal. More greatness you can find that God reveals when you heal. Only fools are entertaining this 3D world. Look how toxic Look how degrading. Look how broken it is. Look how selfish and hateful it is. They're not thinking about the next generation. They're not thinking about their bloodline. They're not thinking about their own well-being as well. It's so long you can run off of highs and ego and pride and being greedy. It's going to come a time when you have to be accountable for every area of those flaws in actions. You got to be accountable for that. And it's going to start off with them. It will start off with the very person who's putting out that wickedness, because when they taste it themselves, they're not going to like it. They're going to want to change very quickly. So Most High will minister to their soul and their heart. What are you changing? What's your motive for changing? Are you changing because you feel what you're doing to others? Are you changing because, are you wanting change because you don't like that your manipulation don't work and you feel what others feel? Or is it being humble and realize that you're not God? You have a human body, you have a soul, you have a spirit. No one can keep doing wrong and think they can hide from God. You can hide from man, but you can't hide from him. If you keep on healing and growing, every time they talk about you stuttering, you heal that. They talk about your confidence, your low self-esteem, you work on that and heal that. They talk about your health, you work on that and heal that. They talk about your physique, your figure, you work on that and heal that. They talk about how much lack of wisdom you have. You work on that and heal that. After a while, they're not going to have much to talk about. You have addictions, they talk about. Work on that. Heal from that. Not only gives the enemy no room to talk about one, but it gives them a lot of space where they got to reflect on themselves without even saying it. So in the physical realm and in the spiritual realm, that's how you break free from the enemy's grip. Healing. He needs something to come in with. Whatever that broke you in your childhood, whatever that unbalanced or unhealthy relationship in the family, whatever it could be, Satan uses that. And he brainwashed souls to operate from that. so much healing. After a while, your state of being is going to be elevated. Those who projecting ain't doing what you're doing. Detoxing? What? Shadow work? What? Taking care of one's health and body and really respecting the temple. What? They're not doing that. They're looking for quick microwave validation, but plant no seeds. They have nerve to talk about everybody else and what they do in their life. The enemy doesn't believe in God. He believes in what's in front of him and his manipulations. He believes what an average person would do, but he doesn't believe in God. And he's promoting many to forget about God. If they do believe in him, he's promoting them to, hey, don't operate on your conscious mind. Put that to the side. Put that to the side. I need you to be greedy. I need you to be selfish. I need you to be mean spirit. It's for an agenda. It's for a motive. It's for a narrative. But if consequences come down the road, don't worry about it. But there's consequences coming that one should be alarmed by. You know, once I evaluate the people who do the projecting and the negative talk, I observed them. Who were they were talking about before or while they was in my company? Who were they speaking negatively? And if someone is so negative that they have to keep lies and constant chaos, then the ones who speaking negatively about someone, what they're doing, they should be doing some major positive, healthy things in their life, and they should be walking, living by those things. But it's the opposite. And what happens is, if you walk with truth so much and you really genuine with your motives and actions, Most High reveal them. You don't have to reveal them. He does that. They end up telling on themselves. But will be mad at you. They'll be mad at me. I'm like, what you mad at me for? You already lied on me before. You already stolen from me before. What I already have standards against you. I already have boundaries up against you. There's nothing more else I could do. I'm not bothered by you, but you need to deal with your own emotions instead of projecting. You need to deal with your own feelings and grow and heal. Only a fool will start up an argument Monday and thinking, oh, apology gonna fix it, and want to make up Thursday or Wednesday. No, no. What you done, stone? And that mean I'm done. There's no going back. Because when folk do you wrong and it hurts, that sting is not for you. That sting is for you to put up boundaries and be alert of that person or those people and to not mix with them people. You gotta heal and receive knowledge from the spirit realm, and you gotta heal and receive knowledge from the physical realm as well. Many areas that it's required for you to go to God. If you don't go, you'll get lost. If you don't go, you'll stay broken. You'll stay stuck at stages trying to please others wearing this mask, but why even please people who broken and empty? What are they gonna feed you? This will help me get rid of the mask and stop people pleasing. Because there's nothing that can feed me. It was always something quick. Quick validation. You know, a quick, oh yes, let's hang out quickly. I want to be friends with you, but I'm going to do it quickly. Ways to diffuse that. Keep God first. Move slow. Say, I got a lot of things going on. I'm trying to deal with, trying to maintain. Which that should be one focus. And if they still want to get in one's way, okay, cool. What are you offering healthy for me to stop my focus on my own life for you to reinforce something great that you offering me? At that point, devils are going to pop out. Demons are going to pop out.